Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Cracker Barrel old country store in Minecraft, step by step, block by block, including the interior for all of your city building needs. I was unfamiliar with Cracker Barrel and honestly, I have never seen anything quite like it. This may be one of the most chaotic builds that I have ever made. This was such a fun build to design and make and research. I hope that I've done a good job for you guys. I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spot me, leave a comment down below. The first person to find me will have their comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make your build. I would recommend copying this grid into your world. If you do, to find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the 9th block. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 13 stripped spruce wood in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Destroy 2 blocks to the right. Replace them with stripped oak wood. Then place spruce doors on top of those blocks, and then continue by placing 13 more stripped spruce wood extending to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then we want to extend backwards by 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We then want to extend this way by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend towards us by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then extend inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then simply extend right, line up with where we first started, and then just connect all the way back. Just like this. Next, we are going to remove all of the grass from inside of our building. This is a substantial amount of grass. We are then going to replace all of that grass with stripped oak wood, and I'm going to recommend placing it long ways like this from left to right because it will just simply look better, whilst it is a little bit more annoying to do it this way. I do think that it's well worth it. However, if you would like to circumvent this problem that I'm currently having, you can use oak planks as well. They look almost as good. I don't know why they keep orientating a different way, it's actually infuriating. And it's so incredibly obvious if one is wrong. Really starting to wish that I went for the plank option right about now. There we go. We got there in the end. Now that we have painstakingly made the floor, we are going to work on the outer walls. To begin, we will place an additional 6 strip spruce wood on top of this block right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we will extend all the way across to the right, and we will join down to this corner. We will do the same, extending all the way back, where we will once again join down to this corner. We will extend in and join down here, and we will basically just extend it around and join down to every single pivotal point that we have around the build. And in doing so, we will have created our walls. Okay, so to begin, we are going to work on the front of the build. Here, we will place 2 strip spruce extending to the right, 1, 2, and then 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, then 2 strip spruce, 1, 2, and then 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, 2 strip spruce, 1, 2. We will place glass block above the doors like this, and then we'll continue through the door and place 2 strip spruce, 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, 2 strip spruce, 1, 2, 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, and then we will just connect all the way back to the end like this. we are then going to add an additional layer of glass pane on top of our glass pane, so wherever possible. And we are going to extend all of these spruce blocks up. Just like this. And then we are going to fill above the windows in with strip spruce as well. And the painstaking part of all of this is that we do want to make sure that the blocks are vertical. And we will see the difference in just one moment. So, you can tell that at the very top of the build, we have a row of horizontal spruce. Now, you guys might like that. You might like that sort of effect, kind of like a cross beam sort of effect. I do not. So I actually have to remove this row and place them upwards, just like this. And now that we have done that to the front, we are actually going to move all the way around the entire build, and we are going to place, or better yet, fill in all of these walls with our vertically placed stripped spruce. You may be thinking to yourself, what, there's absolutely no windows anywhere else around the build? Well, that's actually something that we are going to talk about a little bit later, as there are indeed options to add windows, but it does come at a minor cost. But once again, we will talk about that later, and it's really easy just to pop out some of these spruce blocks and throw some glass in there instead. Again, we'll talk about it later. I am also going to remove all of the horizontal blocks around the top of the build as well, and I will exchange them for the vertical ones. I'm just going to do this all in one go, I think. I might have even missed one on one of the corners, but we will see. I think, yep, that one was horizontal. You see, that is the kind of annoying thing, is that, like, it's immediate. Like, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And it really does bother me. I don't know why. Probably bothers me more than it bothers all of you guys, but still. Next, we will begin work on the sign. To begin, we will place 6 spruce slabs extending along the top of this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a spruce stair. 2 strip spruce wood, 1, 2. 10 smooth quartz block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 2 more strip spruce wood, 1, 2. A spruce stair, and then just spruce slabs extending right. We will place a spruce slab on top of these 2 strip spruce. Then we will add 3 more rows of smooth quartz block on top of our smooth quartz. 1, 2, 3, with a strip spruce wood on top, and then a spruce slab on top of that. And then we'll just raise up all of these smooth quartz blocks to equal the height of the smooth quartz. Stick a row of stripped spruce wood on top. Spruce slab on top of the stripped spruce. We will then extend the stripped spruce up on the left and right side with a spruce slab on top, so just here and here. And that will give us this. See, from here, we want to place... This is kind of tricky, actually. So, we want to place a 2x2 square of barrels right here in this position. And then, left of this, we extend a row of yellow terracotta that extends almost over all the way to the left, covering up the smooth quartz, but it doesn't. And then we add another row on top, and then we just stick 2 rows of yellow terracotta on top of our entire row of yellow terracotta / barrel. Then from here, I was going to make the banners for the sign, but I think that we're going to hold off until a little bit later. Instead, we are going to make the porch / entrance area. So to begin, we are going to remove, you know what? Every single one of these blocks in front of the build. So all of the remaining grass and grid can go. Now, we are going to place 4 rows of smooth stone, 1, 2, 3, 4, in front of the store, which we will extend just all the way across, just like this. That was atrocious. Then we are going to extend the 2 smooth stone blocks coinciding with these doors all the way to the end of our grass here. And then we will add a row of smooth stone on the left and right. And then we can actually just fill these rather large rectangular shapes on the left and right in using pods on. Then we are going to grab our large ferns, and just along this back row here, we are going to leave a gap of 1 and place a fern. Gap of 1, place a fern. So on and so forth, extending all the way over to the left. Where here, we will not place a fern, but we will actually place a firefly bush. I'm not sure I even said that correctly. Let's try again. A firefly bush. So place 1, leave a gap of 1, place another one. And then we are going to place some short, dry grass in the same line as that end firefly bush, but we are going to place them in between the large ferns, if that makes sense. So we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm just going to place these firefly bushes first, and then I'm going to leave a gap of 1, place all of the large ferns extending across the back, and then I'm going to place the dead grass, or rather the short dry grass. It's not dead, guys, it's still alive, it's just very much injured, and that gives us this effect, which looks really good in my opinion. Now we can work on the porch itself. To begin, we will place 3, 1, 2, 3. Spruce fence extending up from this corner smooth stone block. We will then leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we will place another row of 1, 2, 3. Then we'll leave another gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and place 1, 2, 3, just like so. We'll do the exact same thing on this opposite side, so on this corner, 1, 2, 3, then leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, just like this. We are then going to place spruce planks connecting all of the fence together, just all the way along the top, just like this. That looks fantastic. And then we are actually going to place stone brick slabs in front of this, and just 1 row around to the side, so all the way around the front and then just 1 row off to the side here. And then we will extend these slabs up and back until we connect all the way back to the building, just like so. And then we will place rows of stone bricks extending across all the way to this opposite side. So let's extend these slabs up and back, and then bricks all the way across, just like this. Then I'm also just going to, because it might be a bit easier, going to place some spruce slabs, or rather spruce planks, to cover up the space in between all of these slabs. So on that side, and now that we're on this side, I'll do the same as well. And we can just finish placing these slabs, and it will be really, really satisfying in a second. This really helps pull everything together. Look at that. Does that not look fantastic? I'm really happy with how that looks. And you know what, guys? I actually got so excited to do that, I kind of forgot about the roof. So let's do that now. Place a row of spruce slabs along the top of our walls, just extending all the way around like this. Then we can actually fill the very top of the roof in using spruce planks. And that's all there is to it. The planks are placed just underneath the slabs. I was going to say more, but I feel as though that kind of just covers it. We've just got to fill in all of this empty space here. I think that now is a good time to actually remove all of this empty space at the back of the build. And we'll do the same on the opposite side as well. So, what are we going to do with this space? I think it would be a good idea to have a couple of chill areas for the employees. So I'm thinking that we add a couple of rows of smooth stone here, just right to the side of the building, and we'll extend one row across here. I think that maybe we'll even add an extra... No, we'll leave it like that, and then we will add some pods on in the corner, just like this. And then we can just add like a mixture of large ferns in here and some short dry grass, kind of like this, just to make it a little bit more scenic. And then maybe we can even stick like a barrel in this corner, and maybe we could even add like a little bench as well. And we'll probably emulate something like this on the opposite side. So a couple of rows of smooth stone here, one row of smooth stone across here, pods all in between, and do feel free to shrink this area. Barrel here in the corner, pale oak stairs, pale oak sign either side, and then we can just have the large dry ferns as well. And I guess no, I kind of liked them how I had them, so I think I had something like this, right? And then something like this. I think I've just messed it up, but it doesn't really matter. It's not too big of a deal. And that looks pretty good, and you can just connect these sides together. So ultimately, we would have an entrance out here. This would lead from the kitchen, and out here, or on the opposite side, that would lead from the actual store itself, but we'll do that later. I am in two minds as whether to extend the sign one row back to make it a little bit more 3D. So just kind of like these outer blocks, the spruce and well, pretty much all the spruce blocks actually. And then maybe we'll just leave it like that for now because, oh, we need to extend the slab as well. Just so that like it looks a little bit chunkier. I think that looks ever so slightly better, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, regardless, the next thing we have to add is just a bunch of seating in front of the build. So underneath the end of this window, there is a pale oak stair with a pale oak sign either side. In between these windows, there are two oak stairs with oak signs either side. Underneath the end of this window, there is once again just a single pale oak stair with pale oak signs either side. And we then want to repeat this seating situation all the way onto this side. So pale oak stair here, signs either side, oak stairs here in between the windows with signs either side, a single pale oak stair here with pale oak signs either side. I did forget there is also a barrel here in this position and the exact same here on this side as well. And also there's a lot of bins in front of Cracker Barrels for some reason, so I'm going to stick a cauldron here with an oak trapdoor. And there you go, that really adds something to it. This is a fun build. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time that we made the sign. Throw down limb, open it up, place a yellow banner in there with brown dye. The first letter we must make is C. This is the chief pattern, base, and then pale Dexter pattern. Next is R. This is pale Dexter, chief, and then bend. Next is A. This is pale Dexter, pale sinister, chief, fess. Next is K. This is pale Dexter, bend, bend sinister. Next is E. This is pale Dexter, chief, fess, and base. Next is B. This is pale Dexter, pale sinister, chief, fess, and base. Next is L. This is pale Dexter and base. And believe it or not, that is actually all of the letters we need. On this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to recommend something. But before we do it, I am going to place each one of the banners that we have made on the ground here so that we can clone them if need be. But I would recommend adding a yellow ball jaw around each one of the letters because I think that actually makes them stand out nicely on the sign. This isn't always the case, but there's something about this that it really does just lend itself to. So let me just stick the brand new banners next to the original, and maybe you guys can take a little look before you decide to commit yourself to anything. I think that these just really pop nicely on the yellow terracotta, whereas they don't otherwise because the brown kind of blends in to the rest of the building. So I'm just going to apply these. We start here, C, R, A, C, K, E, R, and then underneath, B, A, R, R, E, L. And there we go. Maybe you guys can see, I mean, that to me is absolutely perfect. So I'm actually happy just to get rid of all of these because I don't think that I can improve on that. At this point in the video, we are finished with the outside of the build. So now it is time for us to head inside and work on the interior. We will actually be adding more stuff to the outside later on, but we're living in the present. Our journey begins all the way over here in the front right hand corner of our room. Begin by placing 17 stripped spruce wood extending along the base of this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We then want to extend to the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2. 1, 2. And then place a row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place another row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2. 1, 2. And then simply place stripped spruce extending all the way to this wall. Now, this left wall is actually a little bit different. So we want to start off by placing a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 stripped spruce, just like this. Then we will leave a gap of 1, place a mud brick, which we will extend up by 1, and then left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, extend down, leave a gap of 1, and then simply place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripped spruce wood extending along the wall here. So the point of all of this is that we have now kind of divided our room up. So this is the dining area. If we extend these stripped spruce backwards, so this one and this one, we have actually subdivided this back wall into a bathroom, a shop, and the kitchen. So now starting here, let's work back on ourselves just for the fun of it. So here we actually want to extend this stripped spruce wood all the way up to the ceiling, this one as well. Then moving on to this opposite side, we will extend this one up and this one. And we will extend this one. And we will extend this entire row up. So this is a dividing wall. That's why we're extending every single block up. Just like this. We will also extend this row up as well. And here on the opposite side. And we will extend this one up. And then we will extend this entire row of stripped spruce all the way up, just like so. And then we will extend this block up, and this one. And then along this wall, it's a little bit trickier. So basically what we'll do is we'll leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then extend this block up. Gap of 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, and then this corner block. And then this divides nicely into what we are looking for. So just all the way up. Just like this. I think that we should take care of these back walls first. So step 1 is actually adding a bunch of doors. So there will be a double door here. There will be a double door here, preferably the handles want to align. And there will be a double door here. Notice how all of these doors are one row back from the actual stripped spruce frame. Then we can double line these walls just behind them with stripped spruce. So double lining basically just means we add another wall behind our wall. So here and here, just fill in all of these gaps all the way down to the door. I'd also recommend adding some spruce trap doors above the doors as well, because I think it looks quite nice. And we can do the same here as well. So this is for the actual shop. So just next to the door and across the top of the door as well. I think that we just have to replace these blocks here all the way up to the ceiling. And then from the outside we get this, which looks fantastic. And once again, just some spruce trapdoors like this. And then we have to do this a final time all the way over here for the bathroom. Just like so. Perfect. And then I think that this starts making a lot more sense now. So you can see this is the actual dining area. There is a little bit more to it, however. So along this front wall, we are going to add some additional vertical rows of spruce here and here, just kind of like left and right of the entrance. We also have the option to do it in between these windows too. So you can go for one row to kind of, well, my recommendation is actually just to place it here. So this window gets boxed in nice and neatly, and this one kind of remains open, which also looks nice and neat as well. So that's what I'd recommend doing for the front set of windows, just like this. And in addition to this, we also have to add some spruce slabs. So the spruce slabs kind of extend all the way along the outer part of these walls. So it's one row directly above the actual window line, and this persists all the way around the walls here. So here, here, straight across here. The only place it actually doesn't do it is above this fireplace, which actually looks a little bit small. I think that we need to make it a one row bigger, but that's perfectly fine. That is looking pretty nice, but there is more. So we want to add some stripped spruce wood support beams. The way that we place these is by lining up between here and the center of the fireplace. So in this position, we place a row of stripped spruce wood from the floor to the ceiling. And the same on the opposite side, so from here, right here. So this is the middle of the wall, or alternatively, you can line up with the fireplace on this side as well, if you want. But as long as we have this, everything is fine. Then from here, we are going to connect the spruce slabs to it as well. So we'll connect all of these beams together. It doesn't line up on the back, so if you do have this, don't worry, you've not done it wrong. It doesn't line up, unfortunately, but that's fine. And if you want, you can also connect to here as well, but that's not necessary, and I'll show you why in a second. But we do want to connect from the front to the back on this side too. And we can't actually do it on this side because there is going to be something above the fireplace. But what we do want to do, however, is place rows of oak slabs connecting from one side of the build all the way over to the opposite side. So they'll get positioned here, and we will have oak slabs running all the way across. And it just helps to kind of like join this whole build together, and it gives us that kind of like neo-rustic, old-timey vibe, which I really like, actually. I don't typically build this sort of style, if you like, and I'm kind of digging it, honestly. And there we go. I mean, it feels kind of cool to like have all of this cross-sect together. It feels like all of these are necessary. Next, I would like to add the seating, and we'll start on this side of the room because, you know what? Why not? So, leave a gap of one from this stripped spruce and place a stripped oak wood. We will then place an oak slab next to it, and then a stripped oak wood. We will extend a row of oak slabs here and here, so on both sides. We will then place oak stairs, extending out from each one of the corners, and on every single table we will have a flower pot, item frame on this side, flower pot, item frame on this side, and then just different varieties of candles, food in the plate, maybe we'll have cake, maybe we'll add some different kinds of cups, all sorts of other stuff. But like, this is a default table design that you can keep reusing. So next, we are going to leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to repeat this. So stripped oak, oak slab, stripped oak wood, and then oak slabs either side, just like this, and then we will have the oak stairs on each end. And then once again, I'm going to just reuse this default table design, and I will do something a little bit different later. So this is one side of this beam. We're going to repeat this onto this side as well. There's loads of tables in here, and we will just leave a gap of 1 from this stripped spruce, oak, oak slab, stripped oak wood, oak slabs either side, and you guys get the idea. Then we just leave a gap of 3 and do the same. Perfect. So this is one side of the room. Actually, it's not, because we have to add a barrel as well. So I'm actually going to add a barrel here and a barrel here. You can see the position of that. It's like right in between the chairs. I don't know why. It seems as though there should be more barrels around Cracker Barrel. But that is one side of the room, and we are actually going to repeat the exact same thing all the way over here. We can do it block for block. So it starts in the exact same way. So from here, we just leave a gap of 1. We start off with the stripped oak, and then the exact same thing. I am actually quite eager to change up these tables. I wish that I had more materials on me, but I don't want to flood my inventory. And just remember, they're just gaps of 3 away from each other. Then this side of the room as well. Once again, just start from here, leave a gap, and then once you've figured out the starting position, I think that everything else just falls into place. Maybe all the tables are kind of like at default because nobody's came in yet. Maybe this is like the before they're even open. Maybe everything's all been like spruced and and tidied. That's my excuse for this being also the same. Oh, and let's not forget the barrels. I almost forgot the barrels again. So the barrel here, and we'll have a barrel here as well. And this is looking a little bit more life-filled now, except for the fact that it's kind of just devoid of actual life, but it definitely looks busier. I would also just like to add some brown carpet straight up the middle of the build. This kind of like takes you into the actual shop, so it's almost like a brown carpet that just leads you right to it. Not only that, we have to add a bunch of hanging lights as well. So the lights are above the centers of the tables. It's just a chain and a lantern dangling down. We dangle it from that's the wrong position. We dangle it from the oak beams that we placed, and we just do exactly what I just said. Sometimes I feel the need to like explain, but I mean, I think I kind of just nailed it really. So chain, lantern above the center of every table, and there is a little bit more to it once we have done this part. Okay, so from here, all we got to do is just add some dark oak signs all the way around these. I did initially consider some spruce, but this entire room is basically spruce and oak, and I feel as though that this helps to shake things up a little bit. I did almost consider doing that with the tables as well, by the way, to make the tables dark oak. That's something that you could do. I might even try it myself at the end of this video. But most of these places look very, like, quite bright and light. They're not meant to be so dark, hence why I didn't decide to do it at default, but you very well could if you wanted to, and there we go. I think, oh, we missed one. I do think that this helps quite a bit though, and when we decide to work on the walls, that will of course be just a massive game changer too, but there we go, that's looking pretty good so far. We do also just have to make the fireplace as well. It's actually not a block too small, like I thought. We just have to remove these 3 mud blocks, place a mud brick stair here, and then just stick a row of stone slabs just across the top of it, like this. And then we can just place iron bars just across the front here. And I know that the chairs are really, really close to it, but, well, you know, there's not really too much we can do about it. They just are. And then from here, we can just stick a campfire in here if you like. And then, well, that's it really. Although that will make some noise, so we are not going to keep it there. But if you did want, you could add like a bit of a block of coal just along the bottom as well. And I don't think that, no, this isn't a double wall. I did think it was for a second, but it's not. So unfortunately we can't back the wall with anything, but that's perfectly fine. Not only that, we do have to place the deer head. That's right, the deer head. So this is 2 dark oak planks placed on the wall like this. Dark oak stair here, and then for the horns we can just place oak fence either side, and you can either go like up and out like this, or you can kind of like go out twice and then up. I think that this is my preference, but do feel free to mess about with it. So this is the default version of the inside of the dining room. And this is where we get to add some customization, and you yourself can make a bunch of decisions. So, if you've ever seen, or better yet, been inside of a Cracker Barrel, I unfortunately haven't. They look amazing though. I don't think that we have them in the UK. They look like insane buildings. There is just stuff upon stuff upon stuff on the walls. And the way that we will achieve this effect is by placing either spruce or dark oak shelves to the walls and adding stuff inside the shelves and adding paintings to them and item frames and whatever to them. But on this right wall here, I would recommend adding some windows, so turning these 2 panels into windows. I didn't do this on the original version, but I do regret that there aren't that many windows on the inside the build. I do think that it's a bit of a shame. But if you add these windows, I think that we could add dark oak shelves above them, and then have just either spruce shelves on these sides here, or maybe you could just go with like dark oak shelves. Let's take a bit of a look. I think that it's nice to have something a little bit different on both sides. You could even repeat, I actually want to keep the front walls clean. We can, of course, do something similar on this side. So, again, like it depends if you want to. So, like, we could have windows on this side as well. I think that windows are nice. You know, it's nice to get a bit of natural light in here, and there aren't that many windows otherwise. So, I would recommend this left side just being like windows with the shelves above, and then along this back wall, I think is an opportunity just to add like just the shelves upon shelves upon shelves. We could even chop and change things a bit, so we could have like dark shelves in these smaller cavities, and we can have like spruce shelves in the outer ones. But again, oh no, I forgot to add the spruce trapdoors above the toilets, but that's okay. But I think that, again, I think it looks nice to keep like messing about and chopping and changing with these things. You could even like extend that across the top as well, or not. But this, I think, is kind of like the ideal layout. And then from here, we can just go a little bit crazy with the decorating. However, before we bust out a million different blocks to fill in all of these shelves, we are going to work on the 3 individual rooms towards the back of the build. Starting all the way over here on the left, the kitchen. So to start off with, we're placing 2 rows of 3 block of iron extending up from the ground. Place an iron bar in front of this left block here, and then a light grey concrete here, a couple of furnaces here, a couple of light grey concretes here. Then we'll extend to the left, 1, 2, then cauldron here, then another light grey concrete. We'll leave a gap of 1 in front of the cauldron, place 2 more light grey concretes, and then another row against them, and this is the general sort of layout. We'll stick a lever here. We will place a polished blackstone pressure plate here, item frame here, leave a gap of 1 above this, and place some stone stairs. Then we will place another item frame here. Then we will stick a rail here next to this cauldron. Some spruce trapdoors here with flower pots on top. We will then stick a brewing stand here, and then maybe we will place our pale oak shelves here with some of our different kitchen implements in here. I think that looks pretty good. We can stick a cake here, then sea pickle 2 here, We are also just going to add a window here as well, just on the side, just to brighten things up a little bit. And then we are also just going to add a dangling light. So I don't know whether to, first of all, 2 chains from the center of the ceiling, then a lantern. I don't know whether to go for like the dark oak signs to kind of like keep things congruent with the rest of the build, or whether to swap them to pale oak and maybe to change the floor as well. But I actually kind of like this. I don't really want to change it. Initially I was going to stick some andesite in the floor, but I actually kind of like it. And I think that we will actually just leave it like that. Oh, if you were keen on having like an entrance slash exit in this room as well, it'd go probably about here. So like if you did want to add like that employee entrance slash exit that we were on about earlier, I think that there's a pretty solid place to have it. Just for the kitchen. You could even add some like dumpsters and stuff back here as well for like kitchen waste and what have you. Maybe we'll do that later, maybe not. I'll probably forget. Anyway, that's the kitchen. We are now going to head all the way over to the opposite side of the build, and we are going to work on the bathroom. So in here, we will first of all add a cauldron here, here and here along this side wall with oak trapdoors flipped up or down on top of the cauldrons. We will then place 2 rows of 2 smooth quartz block in between all of these with smooth quartz slab on top. Then we will add doors to these. I'm going for dark oak doors just for a little bit of contrast. Then along this wall, we'll place 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete like this with item frame here, lever here, a couple of candles here. We then have to make a mirror banner, which is done by throw down loom. Open it up, light blue banner in there with white dye, and apply a bend pattern and a gradient pattern. Put black dye in there and apply the ball jaw pattern. We can then stick that directly above our lever. And then on the floor here, we can place a flower pot. I don't know how or where this block has gone, but we need the smooth quartz stair, which will leave a gap of 1 above the flower pot. Then pale oak sign in front of it, stone button here. And then on this wall, we just want a 1x1 painting right about here. And just as with the kitchen, I did consider turning the floor into quartz brick, actually, was the initial idea. But I kind of like it as it is. And I like that there's kind of like a similar sort of style. Of course, we have some different sort of blocks because this is a toilet at the end of the day. But we could, of course, just have a couple of lanterns here just to kind of like light up the ceiling a little bit. I guess that there is a central block. I didn't think that there was, but we can just have a lantern right up at the top here, keep it tight to the ceiling, and then we can just add our dark oak signs around. And I think that this is better than what I was going to do. So this leaves us with but one room to decorate, which is the actual store itself. So in here, we are first of all going to add some stripped spruce wood from the floor to the ceiling in this corner and this corner. Then we are going to leave gaps of 2, and then we are going to place some more stripped spruce, so dividing this area up evenly. Then some spruce planks along the base here, and some spruce signs in front of the planks, just like so. Then we are going to place spruce trapdoors like this, and then like this. So the difference is we can stick an item in between these, but we can't the bottom ones. That's the difference there. And then I'm thinking we remove these 2 blocks here, and we just do a clean sweep of spruce trapdoors just across the top here to make a bit of shelving. We can stick a couple of barrels here, kind of like facing this way. That looks pretty nice. And then along this back wall, we can divide this area up so we can leave a gap of 2, and then we won't place spruce, but we'll mark it out, and then we'll leave another gap of 2, and then we'll place spruce from the floor to the ceiling. We'll do the same thing here. Either side of this, I think that we'll stack some oak shelves. So like 2 rows of 3 rows high, and then we'll remove that central block. This is where I think that we'll have the back exit. So I think that this will actually take us all the way to this side. So if you are intent, or maybe actually no, we won't do that. Scratch that idea. We can have it right here next to the till. And then that way we don't have to add anything extra to the floor plan. But that's looking pretty good. We do also want to add a couple of end rods just here and here to connect this together. And then a set of spruce trapdoors here. I'm going to leave a gap of 2, and then I'm going to have like just another 2x2 set of oak shelves. I'm thinking I maybe place like a barrel here in this position, and then here have a set of 1, 2, 3 spruce planks extending out, and then either here or oh no, I can't have it on this side because the bathroom gets in the way. But maybe we could have it here. Or here. Okay, we finally found where we can place this. So we can have a side exit here in between the shelf and this wall, and then that's fine, and that works out perfectly. We do need a door though, so I'm just going to steal that from here, and I'm just realizing we do also have to exchange that. That's perfect. So now we have entrances / exits on both sides, and I think that that's a little bit more realistic too. Now above the actual till area here, I'm just going to have some shelves on the wall about that high. I think will look pretty good. But not only that, we do also want to have some more shelves. There's going to be some shelves. What shall we use for this? We'll use the strip spruce again. So it's going to line up here. We'll leave a gap of 2 from this strip spruce. And we'll place 1, 2, 3, 4 strip spruce like this. We'll stack 2 oak shelves like this. And then I think I might just line this with with spruce trapdoors like this. So just like all the way around. And then I think I'll just have the same thing on the back. I was initially going to add like more shelves on this, but at a certain point there's so many shelves. And what we're also going to do is we will have a pillar or support beam of strip spruce just like this in this position. And this is starting to feel real cozy. So from here we are going to place some oak slabs connecting from this wall to this beam and through. And we'll do the same thing here, so just extending across the store. Or, yeah, I think that that's good. We either do that, or we kind of have them extend from here and here. That might be better. I think that I like that better. And then we do also just have to connect it to the back here as well if we're going to do that. So through and through and through. And then we can add a light. We'll line this up with that barrel actually. So chain, lantern, and then we'll go with the dark oak signs. Pale oak signs are getting absolutely no love this tutorial. And we can add some pictures as well. So above the shelves, I always like doing this. I prefer a solid block than the barrel. I don't consider the barrel a solid block for some reason. So above here, I'm thinking, and maybe we can have like a larger one here. I knew that would happen. So there we go here. And then we can remove all this. Replace that block that I just destroyed. Armor stand here. Maybe even one here as well. I don't know. We can have some more pictures above here, so like solid blocks above these shelves. I always like the paintings for some reason. Go for a couple of ones like so. Have a big one up here because why not? Okay, that one actually in this instance kind of does fit for some reason. I think that we will leave that. We also have to add some item frames to here like so. I don't think we can have them anywhere else. We could have them. No. I guess we can. We can have them here, of course, but we don't want that, and we can't have them there. So yeah, they're just across the bottom like that. And I think that we've kind of got to the point where we need to start adding actual physical things inside here. I don't think that we can avoid it any longer. It's about time that we start decorating. And I do kind of want to start all the way back in the store, so we're just going to come back this way. So silly. Step 1, there are hanging things in the store. I don't know why, but there are. So we are going to suspend chains from here, here, and here. We might even make this one a little bit lower if we can. And I'm just going to stick some different tables dangling down from the chains. There is just Just randomly stuff dangling down from the ceiling. I'm not going to try and explain it. Well, we are going to take the same tables and we are going to stock in between these two shelves with them as well. We have some books which we are just going to stack this entire set of oak shelves with. And we'll do the same here with the creeper banner charge patterns. Do feel free to chop and change what you stock these shelves with, but I'm telling you, if you get too picky, this is going to take forever. Here we will place a couple of colourful banners. I am considering whether or not I want this to be the same height as the others, because for some reason my OCD is just telling me that it must be up there with the others. Next, we will throw some chest plates on these armor stands wherever we have them. I think that they're the only two. And we will stock this with different items of clothing. We may just have to grab another one, or we can just be a little bit lazy and just leave that one empty. People are clearly buying out whatever was here. Then we are going to take bread, biscuits and cake, and we are going to fill these shelves in. We are going to add some brown carpet here just in front of the till. Does anywhere else need it? Maybe we can add it. No, I think that we'll just leave it like that actually, or we could loop it around here. Is that too much? I don't know, that looks okay. I then want to stack these shelves with stuff. You can use anything, but I'm going to use a collection of candles. I've just got grey, brown and green. It doesn't matter which colour. And I'm going to occupy the left side of these shelves. I really shouldn't have suspended those yet. And next to them, I'm just going to place some solid objects. So we have a bell here. We have a daylight sensor. And let's put that back down. And this one too. Look what you've done. And here we'll just place a furnace, and then in all of these item frames, just random stuff you guys can see what I've just been chucking here. Literally anything, and all of these things can be used later on as well. So what I would actually recommend doing is just somewhere that's kind of out of the way, so maybe I'll go like here. Just depositing all of the items that we've used, because we might very well just use them again later. Now, last bit of detail inside here, we are just going to place a polished blackstone pressure plate in this position, item frame here, bundle here, lantern here, then I'm just going to chuck a couple of cakes up here, and TNT, because, you know, why not? Do we also have to place spruce trapdoors on the opposite side of these doors? That's literally only just occurred to me, so that they match. Should we do that? I think I'm going to. And the bathroom too. So I would consider the store portion of the build nice and finished. I think that this is a nice level of detail in here, which means that we now have to head into the actual dining area and just start on this mess. So step one, grab paintings, and then go into the chests and grab anything that you think might belong on a wall. So anything, I mean, most of these things can. The food items probably not, but some of the more miscellaneous stuff, even the furnaces, maybe even some of the equipment, wouldn't look out of place. And maybe the item frames as well, although I doubt that we'll be using those. So, step one, there are just loads of pictures and graphics and stuff all over the walls. So, I think that that's where we actually start. I think that we box out some areas where we want to apply some paintings, like this, and here, and even on the paneling as well, we can well, that's a bit too big. But even on the paneling, we can apply some paintings so that we don't necessarily have to fill in all of these. So we can have a mixture. We can have this painting here, and then we can apply some of the tables in here, maybe even a banner on the wall. We don't necessarily have to fill in all of them, but we do want it to look quite busy. So we can do that here. And once again, I mean, if you think it looks too cluttered, that's probably just the right amount of cluttering. If you've not seen the inside these places, it's absolutely insane. So I'm just going to go around and apply some paintings wherever, probably not that one. I'm going to apply some painting so that we can kind of like carve out which of these shelves that we have to fill in, and then afterwards we can just fill in the shelves. I'm trying my best not to kind of place them in the same way every time, but it's really hard, to be honest. It's hard to be, like, purposefully random, if that makes sense. There may be just a single here. Okay, let's take a little look. So that might be enough of the paintings. I've tried not to put too many of them. I think that that's a good mix of them. I think that that's okay. I think I'll actually drop this one just one block lower, and I think that that will be fine. So, like I said, now we just have the job of just filling in all of these things with things. So, as I've said, I think that the tables are good candidates. Any of the, like, utility items as well, kind of like the ones that I'm using now, I think are kind of, like, interesting to place in these. But equally so, I think that tools are probably, like, a really good thing to have in here as well. So that's what I'm also going to add. But I am trying not to repeat myself too much. And I am trying to remember that we don't have to fill absolutely every single one of these in. So I think a good idea, now that I'm kind of halfway, would be to hop all the way over onto this side, use some of these over here so that they're not too close to each other, and then that way I can get a little bit more use out of all of these. And once again, it's so hard not to, like, place them in the same pattern that I have everywhere else, so I don't want these here. Maybe a little collection of the tables as well, so like this. I don't think that we need to place them across the top of here, or do we? I'm not going to. That might be a bit too many. What about just actual banners themselves as well? Maybe something like that? Looks pretty okay, I think. There we go. And then what do we do above here? Do you know what's funny, guys? I've realised that without a space, we could actually write country store in these shelves. Unfortunately, we can only steal 3 letters from the sign, C, R, and E, so I've grabbed these and we can head back inside and we'll have to whip out the banners again. Banner time! So, throw down limb, open it up, place a yellow banner in there with brown dye. The first letter we have to make is O. This is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, and Base. Next is U. This is Pale Dexter, Base, and Pale Sinister. Next is N. Pale Dexter, Bend, Pale Sinister. Next is T. This is Chief, and then Pale. Next is Y. This is Bend. Put yellow dye in, apply Perfess inverted, put brown dye in, and then Bend Sinister. Next is S. This is Chief, Base, and Bend. Next would be T, but we already have one, and then O, and then R. So that is actually all the banners that we need, but I am just going to copy the style of the rest of the banners that we've made. So I am just going to add the bordeaux around them. Although these ones would probably look better without, I'm just going to copy the style. So with these banners, we can write C-O-U-N-T-R-Y-S-T-O-R, and then E. There we go. So, country store. Unfortunately, there isn't a gap, but, you know, I actually kind of like that spells out country store. I like that it's a little bit different than everything else, and yeah. I'm contemplating whether to add some flower pots and lanterns to some of the windows as well, because I think that maybe it'd just like fit in a little bit and it kind of add a little bit more color. We can only do this to the actual like windows though, we can't do it to the shelf areas. I think it's probably a nice little addition, like maybe we can even double up on the plant pots for this part. I think that that'd look nice. Let's take a little look. Yeah, I think that helps to brighten things up a little bit. I'm pretty happy with that. And I think that I'm pretty happy with the level of detail that we have in here now. And don't worry, I haven't forgot to actually like stock these plates and tables. I will change those a little bit. Now, this does mean that we have to head outside now and do a similar thing out here. So we are once again just going to add just stuff to these walls. We're not going to go too crazy with it. I'm just marking out some things. So I'm going to have some shelves, an item frame, and kind of like a tool on the wall on every single side. And in the item frames, I'll have like an actual physical tool, like one of the iron ones, and I'll do the same thing on the opposite side, so maybe even like mirrored a little bit, so maybe I'll have like a tool here, no, on the wall, I think, so one here, I'll stick that here, maybe above this I'll have this, and then maybe I'll have like just a single oak shelf on this side, or maybe I will, and I'll stock this with different implements, so maybe even like something like this, and then I can just nip over here and do a similar sort of thing. Like, I don't want to go too crazy, like picking out all of the things, but there is kind of like a similar-ish level of detail out here as there is inside. And we do also need some painting as well, because there is a significant amount of them. Like, there is just like, and again, like if you think that I've went too far, no, There's so much more in the real stores, like it's so crazy. I have done like a very toned down version, very, very toned down, and I still think it's a bit too much, but I think that might be the charm of these places. So again, just loads and loads of pictures and stuff. Just random stuff on the walls. I think that looks pretty good. Do we have to do it? That actually looks okay, like the inside of this. So one of these will be slabs. What we could do is just add a row of slabs here, and this kind of like smooths off this area. If you were so inclined, you could also hang lanterns, right? Yeah, you could, because this is solid. Like, you could hang lanterns in conjunction with where the fence are, just behind, and you barely even ever see them. And that will light up the porch enough as well. And guys, I think that we might have done it. I was literally just making the thumbnail for this video and discovered a way that we can improve the build just a little bit more. So if you do have the room, I would recommend placing 2 rows of smooth stone either side of Cracker Barrel. That will also mean that we have to extend the podzol and therefore just add an extra large fern and some dry grass. But what that means is we can extend our stone bricks here all the way to the very back of the build, so all the way back and around here. And then we can start adding a small overhang back here as well. And we can actually place a row of 1, 2, 3 spruce fence extending up from the ground here in this position. And that lines up with where these stone brick slabs end, and we can extend them all the way over to this opposite side as well and add 1, 2, 3 rows of spruce fence like this. And then we can also extend the stone bricks backwards on this side. And I think that this just makes the build look a little bit nicer. Like it makes it a little bit less bland around the sides, which is how I came to discover this as I was making the thumbnail / the intro for this video. That's why there are suddenly villagers everywhere, and they also populate the inside of the build as well. But See, I just think that that is just a lot better. Like, it's a really small change in the grand scheme of things, but it really does just improve the whole build. So if you do have the room to, at the very least, you should have the room for the overhang, because it's kind of part of the floor plan. We've just went out by one row, and if you can add the blocks to the side, I would highly recommend it. There we go. I think that is... Yeah, that just looks so much better. That's awesome. With that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our Cracker Barrel into our city. Now, this is a real conundrum. Where does this thing go? I don't think it belongs in suburbia. Definitely not downtown. Certainly not the modern part. It doesn't even really belong in Old Town. It's too massive for that. And it doesn't fit the vibe. Do you know where it would actually go? You know, I actually think it would be perfect for this part of the city. We need that renovation. Maybe I'll just stick it over here in storage for a bit, and it definitely belongs in the rural part. Like, over here wouldn't be too bad, somewhere, once it's been renovated. I really need to do that. For now, I am just going to store it all the way over here, mainly because this is the only place that it fits. But I want to keep it here as a reminder that it kind of belongs in this section. You know, I don't actually come to this part of my city very often. I really like the farmland. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.